Hello and welcome to Comic Book Movie Oblivion, the podcast about feature films based on comic books and comic strips that people have stopped talking about. We're your hosts, Jordan and Kumar, that's me.
And me.
And this week we are talking about Killer's Romance from 1990. This is real Oblivion because, as far as I know, this is unofficial. Now we've got two movies coming up this week and next week.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, and of curiosity, I looked at the Japanese Wikipedia page on Crying Freeman.
Yep.
There's no mention of either of these two movies.
Really?
Yeah. They're in the English.
You're right. It mentions the English one. Yeah, I looked at the Japanese one too. Yeah.
They're not. It's not. There's no mention of them whatsoever. There's only the '95 official version. Then I went on to the Chinese Wikipedia page for... Actually, I looked at the credits for both of these movies. There's no mention of the comic in either. I looked for Koike's name, which would be written the same in Chinese. That's how they normally just shuttle them over.
Yep.
So as far as I can tell, they aren't. And then I looked at the Chinese page for Killer's Romance, this week's movie, and at the very bottom it says based on Crying Freeman. And then I looked at the one for next week, The Dragon from Russia, and in the Chinese page it said unofficial or unauthorized adaptation of Crying Freeman.
Okay, I mean, I didn't do any research on next week's one.
Yeah.
But as for this week's, I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever that it's based on...
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. I just don't think they got permission.
Oh, yeah. Well, the question is it authorized?
No, I don't think in any... Because why would two of these come out in the same year? They're both 1990. That's because neither of them got permission.
How could you license... Only one could be licensed.
That's the way these
More
contracts
likely,
work.
none.
You do one contract for animation, one for TV, one for feature films.
Yep.
You don't license two to Hong Kong in the same year. That's not how it works.
The thing is, the Chinese title for this film, as you saw at the start, is Freeman.
Yeah, it's Free Person. Yeah.
Yan. Yeah. Well, the full title is Long Man Sat Cao Ji Yao Yan.
Okay.
Which means, literally, Romance of the Killer Freeman.
Right. Well, it's very cheeky. They've even stolen the title.
But here's the thing. There's not a lot online about this movie, as you know. So we kind of have to read between the lines.
Okay.
But the Crying Freeman, the manga, was not released under that name in Hong Kong.
Oh.
In Hong Kong, it has a completely different title.
What a twist.
It's called, Crying Eyes.
Oh, I think I saw something like this. Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's on the Chinese
Crying
Wikipedia
something.
page.
It was like Crying Devil or something.
No, that's another one. That's what it was released in Mandarin.
Oh, I see.
So there's a Hong Kong release, a Cantonese release in Hong Kong, and a Mandarin release on the mainland. The mainland one is Crying God of Killers.
Got it. Okay, right. That's what I saw. Yeah.
Yep. But the Hong Kong release had a different name, Crying Eyes.
Okay.
Neither of those has anything to do with free person, Killer Free Person's Romance, which is the title of this film. In
so in effect, when they called this movie Free Person, they were skirting the copyright of the title.
Yes.
Because it did not have that title in Cantonese or Mandarin.
No, exactly.
So they were like, aha, we've got a cheat title, which is actually the original title, which was not used.
Yes. Precisely.
Very shady.
Yes, it is.
All around. Okay, I wanted to... This week, the plot, basically, it was covered last week, but I do think this is 1990, so the series is finished at this point.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a few more Crying Freeman plots to contrast them with what we get in this movie.
I also want to talk about that because this week, as promised, I read volumes 3 and 4.
Okay.
And we did say we're going to come back to this too. I'm sure everyone's waiting with bated breath to hear whether I would be more turned off by the comic as it became crazier.
Yes, that's right. Because
or I would become more interested. My
question last week is, are you going to... It's like... What was the two things? It was like... It's sleazier...
As it becomes sleazier and more crazy, as more supernatural elements and just balls to the wall madness gets introduced, am I going to be more disgusted?
That's right.
Or am I going to start enjoying it?
Right.
And spoilers, I started enjoying it.
Okay, interesting. So like those it wasn't quite sleazy enough, like, through the first 800 pages.
I think so. We may as well discuss it now.
It gets so much more explicit and ridiculous.
In Volume 5? Yeah, in these two
through 3 and 4, like...
Yeah, it's just... We could talk a bit about some of the craziest... I mean...
So at the
very start of Volume 3... he needs to find a perfume.
Yes. So they've got this leader of African Tusk. I don't remember his name. We did
speak about African Tusk.
But he wears some sort of perfume.
He either emits the musk or...
that's possible too. I shouldn't have ruled that out.
It seems like it could be either.
Then now it seems like Freeman has to find his woman.
Yeah. Who will have
the scent on her.
Yes.
This is his strategy for finding this guy.
And how does he train himself to find this? He has... This is not the first few pages, like page 9.
Yeah.
He has 3 naked women.
Yeah. And it's the mom of the 108 Dragons she's come up with scheme.
I think possibly her last appearance for a while. But she's come up with this. She's got 3 ladies, each with a dagger above their head. And he has to smell the 3 of them.
Yeah.
He has to smell their necks.
Yeah.
And if he picks the wrong one, she'll stab him.
Yeah.
What's not mentioned by the mother, but may have been a requirement, is for him to have sex with her afterwards, which is what he does.
Yes. Yes.
But of course he does pick the right one because he's an Ubermensch.
Yes, but what would be the point of killing this guy if he got the wrong one?
Yeah, exactly. He's already the head of the 108. I think this is just a Koike kind of brain fart.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Then he goes undercover as a cosmetician in a beauty parlor.
He's like a hairdresser, right?
Yeah.
He's not just any hairdresser.
Johannesburg.
The world's greatest hairdresser.
Yes. Yes. Until he finds this woman who has the smell, and then he feels her up while he's washing her hair, and he says, "It's your fault because you're wearing that perfume, ambergris." And she basically leads him to the leader of African Tusk.
Yep.
He kills that leader, but then, as I mentioned last week, this second-in-command Bugnug, this lady drives up and steps out of the car completely
naked.
They have a huge fight. She manages to cut him, but he's like, "You're not going to kill me. You're going to save me." And she's like, "How do you know?" And he's like, "You're going to fall in love with me." Yep. She falls in love with him. Yep. She gives him a blood transfusion, orgasms from giving him the transfusion.
That's like people are constantly orgasming.
Yes. Yeah. And then she joins the team. She joins the 108 Dragons. She becomes turned to the good side.
Is it the good side? I mean, we never really see what the hell the 108... But yeah, for all intents and purposes it is, because we never see... The 108 Dragons just seems to exist to ride around in submarines and boats with dragons on the prow and solve problems that Freeman gets himself into.
Yeah, it's mostly other assassins that are trying to get after Freeman or get the organization.
As a crime lord, he does no crime lording.
That's right. That's right. This volume also introduced the magic sword.
Oh, yeah.
This cursed sword, which they can't get rid of.
Now,
but
I mean, up to this point, I suppose the comic has been trying for realism.
Yes.
When I say realism, it's like suspension of disbelief.
It's like wuxia realism or something.
Realism,
like you can do like back jumps onto door frames and
100%,
stuff. Yeah,
100%. But now, like, that's just out the window. Yes. This is a possessed sword.
Yes. Yes.
It's a sentient sword.
Yes. And Emu has to... the sword has to accept her, so she can use... She's like, I'm going to overcome the curse by making it accept me, and the guy...
Which seems to be getting naked and going to the...
Well, she goes to the Kowloon Wall City.
She goes to Kowloon City, yeah.
And she's attacked by a bunch of thugs that, like, want to rape her, but they're like, do a dance for us. So she does this... She strips naked, she does a big sword dance. Freeman comes in on a hang glider. He wasn't there at the time. And he's like, how you doing? She's like, great. And all the guys like wave goodbye to her.
Yeah, that's right. They wave goodbye to the box.
She waves to them. She's like, see you later. Typically, everybody just loves these pair.
Yeah.
Then we're introduced to this wrestler named Togoku Oshu, who's this huge giant guy. He rapes Bugnug and also like...
Oh, yes.
Does he break all her... No, he doesn't break her bones. He dislocates all her
joints. Incidentally, there are 360 joints in the human body.
Right.
An easy figure to remember because it's the same as the number of degrees in a circle.
Okay.
I don't think he broke it. He says he broke them all, but I don't know if he had time.
Right. But then he leaves her and she like...
Incidentally, I'd like to say thanks to the excellent translator of this manga. Yeah. I now know the sound that sexual assault makes. It's fob.
Oh, I don't remember that one. Great. Fob. Great.
repeated. Flop, flop, flop.
Flop, flop. Okay. She managed to escape through like a sewer where she's attacked by rats, but she
eats
like
the rats.
She bites them to death. That's her only defense. But she is able to turn on a radio and radio for help.
But she has to do it all with her mouth.
Right. But then
It's pretty wild.
We get this sequence, an important sequence where there's this bear cult. And there are these old machine guns that are like 500 machine guns that were built in World War II.
Yeah.
That they have the guns, but they don't have enough people to run the submachine guns. So this cult leader wants to take over the 108 dragons.
Yes.
And his strategy for this is to create a double.
This is the best strategy ever.
Yeah.
He among his followers, he's found two people who have the exact same body type as Freeman.
Yeah.
Except they have different faces. So he just also happens to have access to perfect plastic
It looks like face-off technology.
Yeah, face-off technology.
When you see the panels, it looks all computerized.
It's some sort of polymer that will degrade in 2 weeks, so he's only got 2 weeks to get all this done.
That's right. That's right.
Throwaway line that has no payoff whatsoever.
It doesn't matter, because Freeman just...
butchers these guys regardless. But the most important part of the Bear Clan leader's plot is in order for Freeman to be... his doubles to perfectly impersonate Freeman, nothing is more important than that they are able to fuck exactly like Freeman.
Right. That's right, because otherwise Emma will know that something's off. You're like, you're not Freeman. And by the way, that doesn't matter because she uses the test of the sword. She chops with the sword, and the sword stops itself before it kills him.
Yes.
And then she's like, okay, I know you're actually Freeman. Because it's a magic sword.
So the comic has officially gone off the rails in an amazing way at this point because they dose Freeman up with soporifics and aphrodisiacs, and then they send in Kimie from Volume 1, the gang... Ryuji's...
wife,
Ryuji's widow?
That's right, widow, that's right.
Ryuji's widow...
Who's now banging the cop.
Yes.
And he has to watch her.
He has to watch Kimie having sex with Freeman over and over and over.
Yeah.
And of course, his amazing penis completely conquers her.
Yes. Except... he refuses to ejaculate. He holds back, and this drives her crazy. She's like, "Why won't you do it?" He says, "I won't do it unless you're in love with me."
Oh my god!
So she falls in love with. She's actually, by the way, she's trying to hide this fact. So these little kids come in to like serve her every day, and she's jerking them off, saving their semen, and delivering it to the bear cult leader for analysis.
Yeah.
He's like, I thought the leaders of the 108 cult, the dragons, were supposed to be neutered. Like.
I guess he wasn't. My headcanon is this kid is at least 18.
This kid, well,
he's just really.
He looks about 6. It's completely irrational.
So fucked.
Yeah.
But best of all, we've got the two doubles. After we've seen the sci-fi technology, the face-off technology, we've got the two doubles sitting on a couch.
Yeah.
And they're wearing 3D glasses. Yes. Regular 3D glasses.
Yeah.
They're sitting next to one another on a couch.
Yeah.
And they're watching a 3D movie of
Kimie and Freeman.
Of Kimie and Freeman having sex. And, like, Ikegami has drawn them... Can you describe this?
So he's drawn them, like, once. So these two guys are sitting on a sofa next to each other. But he's split it up into 2 panels, so it looks like you're looking at the same guy twice. And you get 2 shots of them with their glasses on, and you get 2 shots close-ups of their erections.
Yeah, in their Y fronts.
But he's just photocopied these panels and put them next to each other as if you're looking at the same guy.
This page is got to be one of the craziest comic book pages I have ever seen.
Yeah, 100%.
What is Koike trying to tell me here?
I don't know. There's absolutely no filter at this stage. There's just every...
Is this? Am I just staring at one guy's erect penis, or am I staring at 2?
Yeah, it's 2. By the way, in the Viz edition, they colorized this Volume 3, and they gave one guy red and one guy blue, so you can tell them apart.
Because it's a 3D. Oh my god!
One guy had blue trunks, one guy had red trunks.
They themselves went okay.
Yeah. So it was like Superman red and blue.
Oh my god! So what?
Really crazy. And this volume also introduces Nina Heaven.
Yeah.
So Nina Heaven is a world's greatest kidnapper, I think she announces herself as.
She's the head of an organization called KO, Kidnapping Operation.
Right.
And there's this whole wild story where they employ only shell-shocked army veterans.
Yes.
Who can't rehabilitate into regular society to give them something to do. And the thing that they do is kidnap people.
That's right.
And she, of course, is completely naked all the time.
Well, she's sexually obsessed with Freeman.
Yes.
Because she saw him assassinate someone.
Yeah,
many
and
years
took a
ago.
photo. Incidentally, he never went to her house like he went to Emir's. I'm reading this, I'm thinking, what? What?
Yeah.
Why didn't the 108 Dragons go after her?
Somehow he didn't notice that she took a photo of him.
It was his first job.
Yeah.
It was the very first job he
Right.
did before they decided to turn him into their assassin, so I guess it was less important then.
Right, okay. Or,
But
yeah.
who cares?
But we didn't know this. Yes, this is a retcon that she was there at the scene.
Yes.
And she became sexually obsessed, and now she needs to have sex. She has her room is like plastered with video of her of CGI.
She's photoshopped.
She's like AI'd all these
This
images
is
and
pre-AI,
videos.
but she's photoshopped
Yeah.
herself into all of
Yeah.
these,
Yeah.
all of this footage, or photoshopped him into photos of her with her paramours.
Yeah.
And she tries to seduce him, and of course,
This time he won't even get it up. Not only will not ejaculate, he just won't get it up. He's like, I'm not going to do it.
okay, that's where Volume 4 ends. So
Yes. Oh, and by the way, she's got an island where, when we're introduced to this island, she's running around the island shooting Muppets.
Yeah.
They're Muppets. Like, imagine like Jim Henson
Like Big
Muppets. Like Big Bird, running around the island, and she's blowing them away with the cannon.
Yeah.
And then it's revealed that was actually decoy. That's not the real Nina Heaven. She's there to draw attention.
Yep. Yep. It's just so crazy.
Yeah. I do want to point out one line here because this is the line that I was really proud when I translated it.
Oh, great.
But then I was like, I didn't do a good job on this one.
Oh.
Okay, here was the line in the Viz version when she reveals that they've been after a double that's been shooting the Muppets. She says, that woman's job is to gun down Muppets where people will see her. I am Nina Heaven.
Yep.
My version was, that woman's job is to shoot Muppets every day in conspicuous places. I'm Nina Heaven. Now, after I translated this, I realized there are two things which are not clear in it. First of all, that woman's job is to shoot Muppets every day. Out of context sounds like she takes pictures of them.
But we've
It's
seen
a classic example.
her
We've seen
doing it.
And the other line is, in conspicuous places, could be conspicuous places on their
Conspicuously?
bodies.
Oh.
Which I hadn't thought about.
Why didn't you say conspicuously?
Yeah, I should have done that. But they always teach
Let's
you
swap
to...
jobs. No,
Yeah.
just kidding.
They always teach you to avoid adverbs.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm
Let's
not
see.
necessarily-
You're the expert, man. No, it's pretty clear what you meant. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be fair.
Yeah.
There's no doubt, because we've seen her doing
Yes.
this for like a dozen pages.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to bring all that stuff up because this is a very sharp contrast to the tone.
100%.
Not the tone, the style. Everything about this movie is anti-Freeman.
Oh, well, before we move on to the movie, it's great that you talked about all that stuff, because I want to talk about my reversal.
Okay.
And it also has to do with tone. Now, we actually had a little bit of a discussion after we finished recording last week, and you brought up the art, which I thought was a really good point. The art is very good, but it's also very kind of mature. And I mean that not just in the sexual sense, which it very obviously is, but I mean it's serious. There's almost no caricatures. So compared to, say, Ghost in the Shell...
It is like Neil Adams. In fact, the other Neil Adams comic we talked about, which I didn't mention last week, was Superman vs. Muhammad Ali, which is drawn in the most realistic... photorealistic, straight-face style, even though Superman's at outer space fighting Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And this is like that.
100%. So I think that is part of why I found Volume 1 especially hard to come to grips with.
Okay.
Tonally. Because the art begs you to take this comic seriously.
Right. Got it.
And yet the content is supremely unserious.
Yeah.
At the same time, Volume 1.5, we've also got this kind of... Freeman is supposed to be sympathetic. We're supposed to feel for him as the assassin, this poor man that's been... This plotter who's been brainwashed and so on. However, after Volume 2, not even the art can make you take this content seriously anymore. On the one hand, it's just gone balls to the wall crazy with ghost swords and 3D sex videos to train doubles. And also, they've abandoned the idea of Freeman as having a personality, essentially.
Right.
Freeman is a void, a bit like Gorgo 13.
Yeah.
He never does anything except kill people.
Yes, and screw.
And screw.
Yeah.
He's a personality-free kind of like Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
free man.
Now I'm untethered now, basically.
Right,
yeah, he's a free man. I'm untethered. I myself am a free man now. I'm free of the seriousness of Ikegami's art, and I can just enjoy the madness of it.
Yeah.
But this film,
okay,
it too is wildly different in tone from what you've just described.
Yeah,
it's very kind of straightforward.
It's just a
gun fu movie.
It's a crime martial arts movie. They've stolen plot elements from Crying Freeman, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, stolen is a good word.
But 1990. This movie's watchable on archive.org, by the way, if anybody's looking for it. Directed by Phillip Ko.
Yes.
Who's also in it.
Yeah, he wrote it, directed and produced.
Yeah.
And he's co-starring in it in an amazing role.
Yeah. He's basically he's the Ryoichi character in this.
Amazingly, the director is also Ezra Read.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's perfectly cast as Ezra Read.
Yeah.
And he just happened to be the director as well.
He's got the perfect face.
Blew my mind.
I know him from Dragons Forever, which was one of those Three Brothers movies. It's Jackie, Sammo Hung, and Yuen Biao. Mm-hmm. I love that movie. I love that movie to death. I didn't recognize him in this until I looked it up afterwards on like...
Well, because he's got like a perm and he's wearing glasses all the time to...
Yeah.
It's not quite a perm, but they've done his hair to look like Ryuji's.
Yeah.
And he's wearing... like Ryoichi, he never takes his glasses off, even when he's being operated on. Which was a beautiful
He does take it off in some scenes, but he really looks the part.
It's amazing.
We've got Simon Yam as... Wikipedia says Jeffrey?
Yeah, our translation didn't say that.
No.
Van says his name is a... Japanese name.
Oh. Yes, okay, there's a complicated reason for that, which we'll talk about.
Yes, but we're just referring to him as Jeffrey for simplicity's sake.
Or Freeman. Which he's not in this movie, but
despite the film being called Freeman.
Yeah, I might call him Freeman.
Simon Yam, at this point, had been in some John Woo movies.
Okay.
Bullet in the Head.
Okay.
Chiefly. Van described him, my wife Van, described him as a second-rate Chow Yun-Fat.
Oh, interesting.
He, after this movie went on, his career just took an enormous nosedive, and he starred exclusively in kind of like adult films.
Interesting, okay.
Not like X-rated movies, but in what in Hong Kong is called Category 3.
Right.
Where he just sort of played sleazy rapists and serial killers. Okay. Baffling, because his career was on the up at this point.
Okay.
He's like a handsome fellow.
He's, I noticed on IMDb he's in Lara Croft. Cradle of Life?
Yeah,
the second one, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Not a comic book movie, so we'll never talk about that again.
No. And our Emu is played by Joey Wong. She's in the Chinese ghost story movies.
Yeah. Famously Beautiful and Melancholy is from my source.
Okay. Wikipedia says her name is Jenny. I don't know if she's called that in this movie.
No, I've already forgotten what her name was, but Jenny will do.
Let's call her Jenny. The whole thing is set in England. Which, given the grubbiness of this movie, looks less exotic than Vancouver for some reason. Last week's Vancouver seemed more cosmopolitan than London does. You know what part of it is?
This is a grubby lifestyle that these people lead.
Yeah, Jenny is... We get that it opens with the diary scene, but she's just in like a row house, like one of those London row houses.
Yep.
And she's in front of this... Whereas in the manga and last week's movie, she's surrounded by all these shelves of like books and stuff. Here she's got this one row of books in front of her. They're just so random. There's like a cookbook, there's like a math book. It's like, what is this? It's just like... The set dresser just find 10 books and throw them together.
Yep.
The whole movie's like this.
Yep.
Just throw the stuff in here. Okay, anyway. So the whole thing's set in England. She's writing her diary. She has a photograph of our killer.
Great change. Much better than a painting as far as evidence is concerned, right? Here she's taken photos of...
Yes, that is true.
It's a good change.
I wouldn't say... I'd say it's a logical change.
Logical.
It makes sense. I do like the comic bookness of
paintings.
Him replacing the painting. I do like him throwing the painting in the fire in last week's movie.
Well, here
this makes sense.
We get something too in this where it's a jar. There's a baffling sequence that comes up later where I had no idea what to make of this.
Right.
So later on, she pins up the photo.
Yeah.
And then it slips down.
Yeah.
At an angle.
One corner, yeah.
And I looked at this and I said, why did they use that shot?
Right.
And then later on, when he arrives in her apartment to assassinate her, He pins it back up
He fixes it. Why does he fix it?
I asked Vannie that, and she said it humanizes him.
Right. Well, that's what gives him away. Because when she comes home, she knows he's in the house.
That comes up later.
That's the narrative reason.
Yeah.
I'm like, as a character... Well, okay. Character... This is an interesting thing, because his character...
He's a killer with a heart of gold.
Is he even a killer at the opening of the movie? In the beginning of the movie, right. he comes to England because his father has been killed.
Yes. In
what we learn is a deal that went bad, and his dad was killed by this Chinese gangster called Hun Pai. Now, his dad was Japanese, his adoptive father.
Yes.
This is very confusing stuff.
It is.
He was adopted by Japanese guys.
He's Chinese.
He is Chinese, but he's adopted by Japanese.
Chinese. He was adopted by someone senior in the Yakuza. I think they even say that. And he's like his pride and joy, and he's being groomed to be his successor.
But he also says, my dad avoided the business, and he wanted me to avoid the business. This is said twice in the movie.
Oh, I don't remember.
So what's all that about? But anyway, yeah, so this dad is like, I don't want you... He reintegrates him into Chinese society. He's like, I don't want you to be left out or something. So it's all confused. We've jumped through all these hoops, much as we jumped through the hoops last week with Interpol and our Nita in that movie. Here we have to jump through also hoops because we got this Chinese actor that's playing a Japanese character, which they didn't need to put in the movie. By the way, this whole movie could have been set in Hong Kong because it's all Chinese characters in the comic.
Yeah.
Why are we in England? Now we've got rival gangs again
to film it,
operating in London again.
It's almost as nuts as operating in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Except I suppose London makes a slightly more plausible international base than Vancouver
Maybe,
does.
yes. Yeah.
And we do get a lot of not stock footage, a lot of footage that they have shot.
Yeah.
A lot of location footage.
Right.
Of London.
Yes.
So these guys have had a holiday in London.
Yes. They absolutely have. So she's got this photo. But, okay, my question was, so he comes back because he learns his dad died.
Yep.
And he's like, I want revenge.
Yeah.
And then he goes down and he hunts down all the members of the Chinese gang. And we hear a line later on that he's like a top killer. Now, here's my thing. We hear twice in the movie that dad didn't want me in the business. And also, as far as the narrative of the movie is concerned, he didn't start killing until he wanted revenge for his dad. So I don't know that he was an assassin.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think he ever killed anybody.
That line. I missed both of those lines, I'm afraid, but I'll take your word for it. But we do know that he's a badass because we get montages of him as a young man and as a boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to talk about the flashbacks. There's 3 flashbacks in the movie.
Yep.
Each one is worse than the previous one. The first one is a flashback of...
a dojo.
The first one is when we get the dad getting killed at this meeting. And, by the way, this gang meeting is taking place in this tiny room, which is about 2 meters by 2 meters. Then we get the dojo. The dojo is about 2 meters by 2 meters.
They don't have a big budget.
They don't have I think they might have been shot in the same room, even.
That makes sense.
And they've got a corner. They don't even have a room. They've just got a corner, which is supposed to stand.
It's like we built you this special dojo, and it's like, it's not even as big as this room we're in right now.
Yeah, it is crazy cheap. I was in shock that they were like, what? Make a different movie, or don't put the...
Well, don't make it a dojo.
Maybe train in the park or something. Yeah. Why?
They shoot other stuff in the park.
Yeah.
There's a Chinese character on the wall.
Yes.
Mole. For some bafflingly, the subtitle translates it as "Be heroic."
Yeah, be heroic. In Japanese would be take, which it's like the bushido. It's like martial art.
Martial is how I would translate it to.
Yeah.
We
don't know where this translation came from. Got it ripped off of a Chinese DVD? We don't know. Okay, so we learn about the deal that went bad. We learn about the scene where he's a badass as a kid doing martial training. I don't think he was an assassin. As far as except for one line where somebody says he's like their top killer. But I actually also a question about his badassness. What did you think about the slow motion in this movie? Because I know you were complaining about it last week. There's like a shot in this movie. There's a lot of slow mo. There's a scene where he's in a church and he's going to kill one of the Chinese mob, and he uncrosses his legs in slow motion.
Yeah,
he's not pulling out his gun in slow motion. He's just uncrossing his legs in slow motion.
That was a bit much. I agree. Yeah, it was. I must say, I enjoyed the action in this movie much more.
I think the action is the only reason to watch this movie. I think the gun scenes and I think the martial arts scenes are good.
And that was my complaint about last week, because even though we had nice sets and great and beautiful actors, that whoever was doing the choreography often had them standing out in the middle of nowhere, and these guys know how to shoot a gun. What HongKongMovieDatabase.com calls bullet ballet.
Right, bullet ballet. Right.
It looks cool, man.
It does look really cool.
I think the slow mo in the cathedral is because they. I don't think they were allowed to shoot in this cathedral.
Right.
So they had to make the most of the footage that they got in there, because there's just like some people wandering around in it.
There's a lot of that in this movie. Except for the martial arts, and even the martial arts scenes are like in somebody's living room, somebody's dingy living room. By the way, Emu has like this glass plate, which is conveniently, for some reason, she's got a glass wall between like her room. Her room is partitioned. How convenient that this thing is just there.
People go through glass a lot in this movie.
A lot. Why is that
through windows constantly?
We don't know. Why are we having this huge shootout in this tiny living room? Don't know. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so he gets his father's ashes when he comes back. He learns all about the deal, etc.
We get this funny sequence where, again, to establish that he has a heart of gold, that he's an assassin with a heart of gold, or possibly not an assassin. He tries to pay off his father's manservant.
Yeah, Uncle Fu. Yeah,
Uncle Fu, with what is very plainly a roll of printer tape with a £10 note wrapped around it.
It is a huge wad of money to hand over to anybody. It's crazy to hand over this much cash.
But it's plainly, even in our crappy quality, version that we watched, you could plainly see that it was just white paper.
I wrote down the line. This is the scene with Uncle Fu.
Yeah.
He says, "My father always stayed away from gang business, and I will do the same."
I think I think here it refers probably to the seamier side of gang business.
Okay.
Because a plot point that comes later.
But him being what if he was an assassin before this point? That seems pretty seedy to me.
Yeah, of course it's seedy, but
I guess it's not drugs. The key thing is drugs here.
It was the same in the manga. Yeah. Drugs was what was beyond the pale. You could be an honourable crook and presumably kill as many people as you liked, as long as you don't go with drugs. I think that's what they're doing here.
I feel like there's some real cultural, like the government was really good in Japan. I know when I was here, making drugs really taboo and having very strict laws. So in all sorts of media, like this, or people you met, they'd be really shocked about even like marijuana would be like beyond the pale.
Yeah, exactly. Or at least in terms of popular culture, right? There's no room in popular culture for drug culture. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think they've lifted that plot here. I think possibly that's what he's referring to.
Right. Okay.
His, the title of he's called Sasao in the title of the film. That could mean assassin or killer in Chinese.
Well, he does he turns into this killer.
Or his slayer.
He starts hunting down these guys one by one. But first he has this practice fight, a kendo fight in the dojo. By the way, another thing.
Great. Oh, yeah. Explain what happens here.
Well, first I want to, in order to get this first,
the D plot.
The D plot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff packed in here I need to unpack. First of all, I want to talk about one of the big tonal differences is, unlike Crying Freeman or unlike Mark Dacascos, this guy never strips naked to kill a person.
No,
this guy wears 6 layers at all times. He is cold. All the actors are cold. And this guy especially never takes off his 6 jackets. When he does, he dresses like an old man.
This is the London winter.
He comes into this dojo dressed like an old man with his pants like pulled up to his nipples and like his sweater on. And he gets he does a kendo practice and he beats up this one guy, particular guy, Ken. Now, there's a girl in the gang named Eiko. Ken is her brother. Has just joined this Yakuza gang. She just signed up, apparently.
She's senior in it.
Yeah, but she volunteered.
Yeah.
And because of this, Ken is having trouble getting a job. He's got educated himself, but he can't get like a decent work or anything because of his sister's reputation as being a gangster.
He wants to join the gang.
Yeah, that's why he wants to join, because he doesn't have any options.
This is such a trope, though.
Yeah.
And in fact, this movie is all tropes.
Yes.
Yes. And which is I very much want to return to later on. Yeah. But here we go. We've got the older sibling who's in the gang, but wants to keep their younger sibling out on the straight and narrow. Yeah. Yet the younger one wants nothing more than to impress the old one by joining the gang.
Well, I don't think it's to impress. I think he just can't get work because of her reputation.
Well, he's very keen to join.
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, you're not." Yes, he is keen to join, and she's like, "You're not going to join."
I'll give this film credit. It is a very unusual touch to have the senior be a woman.
Yes, And then they're in the park having this argument, and then he gives her a horseback ride, like a piggyback ride around the park to end the scene. Mm-hmm. Very strange.
I think it's cool because it's always brothers, right?
Yes.
Normally,
yes.
The senior brother wants to keep the younger brother out.
Yeah.
Or the father wants to keep the son out.
Yeah.
It's such a cliche.
Yeah.
Here, and she's just the part might as well have been. It's great. She's not like a hooker or something.
No, that's right.
She's an enforcer.
That's right. Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool for 1990.
Cool. Yeah. She's got a good 80s perm as well.
Yeah. She's very 80s.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, our heroine is taking photos, but she's an amateur photographer. Her photos are terrible, by the way. We just get freeze frames when she stops, and they're just so poorly framed. It's incredible. But this is her hobby, apparently. And a Chinese gangster in a wheelchair is killed by our hero, and his wheelchair goes into the river. She snapped some photos of this at this stage, I think.
And she gets a photo of him. Is it at this point? I think it is.
Yeah.
She gets a photo of him, and it's the painting photo.
Right.
It's what TV Tropes calls Sean Connery is about to shoot you.
Right. Right. Okay.
Where they're pointing a gun right down the lens of the camera.
Actually, he's a little bit off. It's not
close enough.
It's not like the manga with the painting in the manga, where he's holding the knife and then he's pointing the gun at her.
Well, that's just safe.
Anyway, she's running a fundraiser with her friend Carmen. That was the name.
Poor Carmen.
Yeah, poor Carmen. We'll talk about Carmen. So she's doing a fundraiser for some sort of charity, and Freeman happens to walk by. And she shows him her ID, I guess to show that she's a legitimate charity she did this.
Yeah.
She didn't do it to the other people that came by. She's like, here's my ID, but now he knows her name. And
so he can find her name. And her address.
Yeah.
He gets her address off it.
Yeah.
So otherwise, how would he find her
And he drops that roll of bills into her...
Because he's a good guy.
Because he's a good guy. Well, also, Uncle Fu turned it down, so he's bummed about it, I guess. There's a chase in Hyde Park. There's a car chase.
Yeah.
Which ends in an empty parking lot. Which, by the way, there's two car chases where they both end with cars being turned over.
Yeah.
Conveniently seems like the same place.
Yeah.
This wide open parking lot where there's nobody. There are no people around, just a few empty cars that have been parked there to make it look like it's a real
so funny.
street.
They'll be driving down a main road or a country road, and then the next scene, like a smash cut, it's this parking lot, and then the car does a flip and explodes.
Yeah,
it's like, how did you get it?
Twice.
I loved it. I was pissing myself. I was having such a good time watching this movie.
Yeah. Right. Now we meet the cop, which is Inspector Lung.
Not an super important role in this.
No, but is it normal to have a Cantonese speaking cop in London?
I think they were just hoping we would. I think they were just hoping we wouldn't notice.
Or maybe his specialty is Chinatown. So
they didn't even bother to say Interpol.
No,
he's not an Interpol agent. They just said maybe. Hopefully, the audience for this movie, the Hong Kong's Cantonese speaking audience, just assumes that the cops in London will speak Cantonese.
Yeah,
or maybe we're meant to imagine the conversation's taking place in English because she never says anything in English.
It's a bit Star Trek-y where they just go to another planet. They're speaking
Universal
English.
Translator.
Yeah. Freeman kills Hung Pa, who we thought was the top guy. And he kills him outside the cop shop, I believe. And this is where Jenny sees him again by chance.
She was right there.
Like in the comic. She just happened to be there.
Like in the comic. Not like last week where she had a reason for
where there was a good reason for him to be there. He was like, oh, she just happens to be there. And she just says oh or something, and the cop's like, you recognize the guy? She doesn't say his name or anything.
No, she doesn't say his name.
She doesn't know
Even though we get dialogue later where the guy says, you said his name.
Right.
And I'm like, no, you didn't.
No. Yeah.
Maybe it happened off camera.
So while she's being interrogated, he goes over to her house, as in the comic.
To wait for her.
And when he walks in, he seems to fall in love with her because he sees her Scooby-Doo plushie on her bed. Am I correct? He walks in, we get one of the craziest shots. No, sorry, crazy shots coming later. But one of the craziest shots is he walks into this girl's bedroom and he sees a Scooby-Doo plushie on her bed, propped up between the pillows, and a Mickey Mouse doll on the chair, and he gives a smile. Yep. And I guess this is what made him fall in love with her. Instead of smelling her pillow like he did in the manga.
It's way less creepy, I guess.
But
it's a bit more wholesome.
this movie's very chaste. Very, very wholesome.
Great word.
He's like, oh, this girl likes Scooby-Doo.
I can't kill her. And he fixes her photo.
He fixes the photo, that's right. And then when she comes home and she sees the photo, she's like, I know you're here.
Because she saw the photo,
She saw the photo. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to have to kill you because you saw me. And she's like, well, I'm supposed to do this dance performance for the charity.
I'd love to do
and
it
I
before
need to do the dance before I die and give the money to the charity. So, in this version, it's not please screw me, please take my virginity. In this one, I got to do this dance. And she doesn't even do the dance.
It's not a dance in inverted commas. It's not the no pants dance.
Yeah, she doesn't even do the dance. She gets her dress on and then the bad guys attack.
Yeah.
Before she ever gets to do it.
We haven't got time to choreograph that. We spent all that time choreographing the gunfighting.
Exactly.
Now, Ezra Read shows up.
Yes. Played by director Phillip Ko. He was in the Chinese gang, but he had been banished to Manchester. He's like, the boss, that bastard stuck me out in Manchester, now I'm back
in Manchester. He's called Charlie on Wikipedia.
Right.
I think
it's called Chan Ben in the subtitles.
Changban, yeah.
Changban? Okay. So, he storms the house. Now we get our first really good action sequence where people are going through this plate glass that's in her bedroom for whatever reason. He gets shot at one point, as in the comic, and then as Freeman and Jenny are trying to make their getaway, she gets shot.
Just like in the comic.
Just like in the comic. But now comes the best shot in maybe motion picture history. She gets shot in the back, slow-mo, and then we see the Scooby-Doo plushie in slow motion fall down on the bed. Your heart's breaking. Can't you see the symbolism? She's dying just like Scooby-Doo falling down.
Get it?
Crazy. I was in disbelief. What a choice. What a choice.
Fantastic.
Yep. Okay, so she gets put in the hospital, as in the manga. Now, we get a twist. The Chinese gang and the Japanese gang meet up at the docks, down at the docks, and they're like, well, let's make a deal. And it's the head of the Japanese gang. His name is Yoshikawa, I think.
Yoshikawa. Yeah.
So he's kind of taken over the Yamada group after Dad has died.
He's the second in command after Jeffrey.
Right.
But Jeffrey's disinterested in running the business because he's busy killing people.
Right.
But it turns out that Yoshikawa has ulterior motives.
Yes. And we get some of that here, and then they go back to their own gangs, and they're like, we need to start dealing drugs. Each of them says to their own gangs. And, by the way, so then, we get all the stuff where she gets out of hospital, and then she goes to his place. But, after that, we get a scene where Ryoichi is like, our drug business in Chinatown is doing well or is not doing well or something. It's been 3 hours, 4 hours since they decided they would start dealing drugs out there.
Little quick, maybe he's been doing a little bit on the sly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So, much like in the manga, Jeffrey has told Jenny where to find him after she gets out of hospital.
Yeah.
Some place up.
Oh, it was in Greenwich.
That's right, it was Greenwich.
Yeah.
Although it's not. They haven't left London. It's Regent Park.
Yes. By the way, all these interiors, the living rooms that we're in, really reminded me of When the Wind Blows.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They couldn't afford any...
It's like same era, same decor.
This isn't like Barry McKenzie. They couldn't afford... They didn't have permission to shoot in the Australian Embassy or anything like that.
No. They're just in people's houses.
Yes.
With their knickknacks and... Yeah, really crazy. Okay, so she does a swap with her friend Carmen to escape from the hospital.
Yes.
As before, and she goes up to Greenwich. But in this version, so far the only version, Carmen is captured by the bad guys.
Yeah.
And Yuji beats the shit out of her. It is a prolonged scene of
him beats her to death.
Kicking her when she's down. Oh, yeah. Well, we don't know exactly when he kills her, but then they throw her dead body through the window.
Everyone's getting thrown through windows. Yeah, it's a pretty savage scene, actually. She won't...
It's like the dogs and Watchmen. Didn't they go through a window? Didn't Rorschach throw them? The dogs with their heads split open?
Yes, ring the bell for that. Very good.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like, we get probably something like a 20 to 30 second sequence of Ryuji just kicking the shit out of Carmen.
Yeah, it is wild. He knocks her down and then he just kicks her while she's on the ground. By the way, there's also a moment in the drug scene when he's got his Chinese, all the gang there, and one person objects and he shoots him dead. I think this is the 4th time we've had this on the podcast, like Dick Tracy and something else. Maybe it's the 3rd time. There's at least one other movie where somebody objects and they're like, okay, you can go, and then they're killed.
Oh, it was in The Phantom.
Right. There
he throws a spear at him.
That's right. There you go.
It's funny, we get both Yoshikawa and Ryuji dealing with dissent in their organization. Yoshikawa has the son of one of his rivals kidnapped.
Yes.
But Ryuji doesn't have time for that shit. No. He shoots the guy.
Yeah. All these gang meetings are taking place in the same tiny little room.
Yeah.
The little tiny.
It's just someone's living room. It's like Phillip Ko's relative who lives in London.
Yes, it's really seemed like that. Okay, so when Jenny arrives in Greenwich, now we get another montage. This is a horse riding montage, which is interminable. Just goes on and on of them, I guess, falling in love as they ride horses.
They hired a horse.
This guy has bloodlust for his father's death, by the way. She's just gotten out of the hospital.
Well,
they've had this massive shootout. Chinese gangs are still out there. Ryuji's still out there. They're just like, haha, let's have this
later on, they're playing a board game.
Oh, yeah. They're playing cards.
They're playing like backgammon.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But here we get not only do we get the long horse riding sequence, but we also get the same horses in a flashback sequence.
Yes. Yes, he remembers, that's right. These are his horses, that's right.
They're his horses. He's got his adopted father watching him riding horses. And then we get a flash forward to him riding horses.
That's right.
Wearing a scarf. But everyone is wearing a scarf in this movie because these are Hong Kong people who come from the tropics and they are cold. It actually makes them look kind of... I know you said it makes them look like grandparents.
Yeah.
But the scarves at least look kind of cool.
But, I mean, even Freeman, that sweater that he wears, that old man sweater, I mean, he really looks like 30 years older than he actually is. But,
it might be for the Chinese audience, it might make them look cool and exotic.
Right.
To open a tab, the most famous picture of On Sun, the Burmese general, who's the founder of kind of like the modern Burmese nation, all the most famous photos of him are wearing very heavy clothing when he was in London negotiating a treaty, the On Sun Attlee Treaty, because it makes him look so unusual.
Oh, right.
So maybe these scarf-wearing granddads actually look kind of exotic and powerful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. By the way, so there's no conflict in this version. There's no organization I have conflict with about his romance with Jenny. There's no you're not allowed to fall in love or anything like that. Also, there's no hypnosis in this version. He's out to get revenge for his dad. So these two elements have been taken out.
Yes.
But also it means that there's no conflict in this romance. I'm not sure why it's happening, except that he saw her Scooby-Doo plushie.
Yeah, there's no real reason for them to fall in love. They just did because they're both young and hot.
Did, but also there's nothing in their way, which is I don't know. I suppose it doesn't matter. The Japanese team says they're going to call headquarters in Japan to bring out a team of killers. I don't know if we ever see that team of killers.
I assume they're the guys with katanas at the end.
Oh, got it. Okay. Right. This movie also, much like last week's, Japanese guys don't use guns, they fight with katanas. When the Japanese team shows up, they're not going to use guns, they're going to use katanas. Carmen gets thrown through the window. This is at the 1 hour mark of this hour and a half movie, by the way. So this is like where the last week's movie was ending at this conflict. When the bad guys show up at Greenwich, the Greenwich farm. Okay, now, Jenny is traumatized by the death of Carmen, of course, and we get the craziest flashback in the movie. You get a flashback to their friendship. It's a It's a montage.
Yep.
Carmen is studying lying on the grass somewhere studying. Jenny shows up. Carmen's like, "You're late," and then we get a dissolve to them going to another grassy field, probably the same field from the opposite angle, to pick up their bikes, and their bikes have fallen down. They're like, "Our bikes!" And they fall down. That's the end. End of montage. That's it. Wild. I'm supposed to feel heartbreak that she lost her friend who she once studied in the park with, and then noticed that her bike had fallen down. Unbelievable, some of the choices in this movie. It's really like Tommy Wiseau, Neil Breen kind of stuff.
It's great.
It's really unbelievable. Okay, so
so this team's being led by Ryuji.
Yes.
He's sort of an implacable man. He keeps getting...
Eiko's there. She always shows up at all these... Yeah. She just shows up all the time to fight.
She's a high-level enforcer for the Yakuza.
Yeah, she is,
In a blow for egalitarianism in 1990s Hong Kong.
Yeah.
He's there. There's a great bit where Chunbunsu like jumps out of a doorway. Like Jeffrey says, "Where is Ryuji?"
Yeah.
And Ryuji says the one line of Cantonese that like everybody knows, which is "I'm here," which is "Haido." Right. He jumps out, and then Jeffrey puts him down with what looks like a magnum.
Yes.
Where did he get this magnum from?
Yep.
Was it in his pants? Yeah. Well, anyway, that's finally enough to put a stop to Ryuji.
Ken attacks at this point, right?
Yeah, now...
Ken is sent over. He's a sword fight, and this guy's a good martial artist.
Yeah.
Really good. This guy's doing jump kicks, high kicks all over the place. He's got a sword.
They know how to shoot this. They know how to work around... Simon Yam, not really a martial artist, but they know how to shoot around him.
Right.
So that Ken is doing all the...
Yes.
Kind of acrobatics. Yes. And Simon Yam just has to chop his sword down, and it just looks so dynamic and great.
Yeah.
They have an extended fight. Echo is either shot or injured at one point.
She's dying, and then as Ken is about to kill Freeman, she makes him swear not to kill Ken. She's like, "Don't kill Ken. I don't want him to join the organization."
And Freeman Jeffrey is refusing to fight Ken.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so finally Ken is about to bring his sword down on Freeman, and she kills him herself. It's not like an hour distance in the movie, it's like the next moment. She's like, "Okay, I'll kill him."
Yeah. Why did she do that? Like this is like I said, this is the D plot on Fast Forward.
Yeah.
Like that's resolved now.
Yeah.
She didn't want her younger brother to follow into life of crime. She'd rather shoot him than let him do that.
Yeah.
And then they both die.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's wound up.
Yeah.
Now, Yoshikawa himself shows up.
Yeah, but Jenny's been taken hostage, right?
Oh yeah, she was no, you're right, he doesn't show up. She's been captured, so Jeffrey has to go...
But Echo gives a big reveal to Freeman at this point. She says... before she dies, of course. Yeah. She says, actually, your dad was not killed by Hungpa. Your dad was killed by Yoshikawa.
Yep.
To take over the organization. Or it was Yoshikawa...
And then we get the final flashback, which is to see Yoshikawa killing...
Yeah, right up, like point blank. Just puts a gun. He's been shot down by Hungpa, I think, but then he puts a gun right up his chest. And
so Yoshikawa just puts the gun in his stomach and pulls the trigger. Yeah. And trying to cover it up by like coughing or yelling as he pulls the trigger.
Yeah. So that's when Freeman goes to Yoshikawa.
Yes, he goes back to London to meet Yoshikawa.
Right. And his personality is completely different. Instead of being the sad guy that was mourning the former boss of the Yamada Corporation, he's like this flamboyant, cartoony villain. Everything about him, his mannerisms, everything about him.
He's become a racist.
Right.
Yeah, everything's just dialed up to 11.
Yeah.
So now he's like mocking Jeffrey for being Chinese and saying that he'll never be Japanese.
Yeah.
And it's like, where did this come from? You weren't... Because we need to know he's the bad guy now.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He says, like, "We Japanese would never die for a girl," is a line that he says.
Right.
When Jeffrey shows up,
yeah,
he shoots
Jenny in the knees. There's a lot of injury to the knee motifs in this movie, much like injury to the eye in comics that Frederick Wortham complained about. Here, it's all about the knees, and she blasts her knees out.
Yeah,
she's lying dying. Uncle Fu comes in carrying Dad's ashes for some reason.
Well, why haven't these ashes been dealt with? It's been days.
And he gets slashed in the knees. He dies.
Yep.
His knee injury.
He dies from knee trauma.
Yeah. Knee trauma. And the ashes get, like, smashed against the wall and scattered everywhere.
That's terrible.
Which was crazy. Now there's a big fight. We got the Japanese gang with their katanas. We get a pretty good martial arts sequence here.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's fine. Like
finally, he kills all those guys. He fights Yoshikawa. Freeman's got one arm that's busted. It's been cut, so he can only fight with one arm. It's really pretty well done.
Yeah. His character in Bullet to the Head had lost an arm in the final scene as well.
Oh, right.
So it might even be an actor callback.
Right, okay. Yeah, and then his arm gets chopped off completely in the final shot, and then he slashes... But he slashed Yoshikawa at the same instance right in there.
In a very grisly kind of special effect.
Yeah.
Yoshikawa's head sort of split down the middle.
Yeah.
And blood pours out.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's dead.
Yeah.
Then there's a...
and then we get a coda, which is like a year later. It's Christmas.
At least a year. I think I've written 2 years, but I don't remember.
It could be 2 years. You could be right. She's in a wheelchair.
Yep.
She's writing in a diary.
So she's not recovered from being shot in the knees in a burst of realism.
Yeah. And he shows up at her house.
Minus an arm.
Minus arm and wearing nerd glasses, which I guess is code that he's become a good guy.
He's reformed. Yeah.
Because he's a nerd now.
Yes.
And he says, now I am free.
No one wearing glasses is a bad guy.
No. Right.
He's a free man now.
He's a free
man. And then
man.
he pushes their wheelchair out and the movie ends.
Yeah, an hour and 32 minutes.
Economy of storytelling.
Okay. Do we know anything about some... I couldn't even find art. I was trying to make the art for the show, and I was like... there's only like 3 images of possible bootleg DVD covers out there.
Yeah, I had to go on... Wayback Machine... trying to find old websites that talked about this movie. Yeah, there's very little about it online. I know how much it made. It was not a success. It only made about 3.2 million Hong Kong dollars in 1990 Hong Kong dollars. That's not very much money at all.
Right.
Probably less than $200,000 American. I'd liked the soundtrack.
That same song that plays 3 times, that sappy love song.
No, whatever passes for... One of the websites I read called it Vivaldi with a drum kit.
Oh, okay, yeah, like the score, yeah, okay.
I thought that was kind of groovy. Other than that, there's absolutely no information about this online whatsoever.
Yep. That's
just the different names that it was released under. As I mentioned, it was called Killer Freeman's Romance, essentially is how you might translate the title in Cantonese. Apparently its international title, it's been A Killer's Romance, The Killer's Romance, Killer's Romance, and Crying Freeman, Killer's Romance.
Okay.
In various markets, yeah. Votes.
Okay, well, my votes are still yay for the comic.
Mine has changed to yay.
Okay.
I think once you get through...
But has it changed for your first 2 volumes, or do you still feel the same way about those?
I still feel the same, and I want to... and that's going to feed into my discussion about adaptation, so when we get to that. What about the film?
Oh, this is a nay for me. It was too... Look, I like the martial arts sequences.
Yeah.
But it was just too cheap and cruddy. It was so amateurish. The attempt at storytelling to try to do symbolism with the montages are so clumsy, and to have the Scooby-Doo fall over and all that kind of stuff, and it's so cheap that I could not enjoy it. I sat up for the martial arts scenes, but there's no way I could recommend this over.
It's so funny because this week for me it's like the mirror universe of you last week.
Okay.
Because all those things that you were saying last week about how much that film reminded you of like Shaw Brothers movies.
Yeah.
Or the kinds of stuff that you used to watch with your brother.
Yeah.
And so it gave you a warm feeling. That's the way I felt watching the movie this week.
Right.
It just... I just associated it so much.
There's like a nostalgia factor.
Very much so.
You know what? It's interesting because I don't normally watch Hong Kong movies that are this low budget. Normally, any movie that I would have access to would be ones that were good enough to be exported. It's the same with all foreign films. You only see the best movies from France or Italy or Hong Kong. They're the ones that make it out. The crud stays behind. So I don't normally see something that's like on this lower end. Like everything I've seen has always had a bit more panache to it.
For sure.
So maybe I didn't have the nostalgia factor for it.
This film has something of a cult reputation.
Okay.
Kind of as being fans of Simon Yam. It's sort of the last film he did before his career went off the cliff. Yeah, right. So it's popular with people like that, and it's pretty...
What year was Bull in the Head?
A couple of years before this, I think. 88.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the war one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So And I mean, this is the one out of the two that we're going to review. According to the internet, this is the one that stood the test of time. So even though it didn't do well, it didn't do well at the box office. Yeah. This is the one that people still watch.
Okay.
Because it's got some great kind of action sequences.
Yeah, interesting.
I guess it's fun that it's set in London.
Right.
And Simon Yam is a better kind of protagonist than the pop star that we're going to get next week.
Oh, okay.
Spoilers.
Okay.
So for this one's going to be a yay for me.
Okay.
A tentative yay. Okay. It certainly isn't a masterpiece, but I would say, being sufficiently self-aware, that the things that made you vote yay last week are the things that are making me vote yay this week.
I love it. Okay. Okay, adaptation.
All right, adaptation. I've spent a little bit of time thinking about this.
Okay.
I reckon I could make a persuasive case for either, but to really get into it, I sort of think I have to ask you a couple of questions.
Okay. Okay.
So to start, all right, let's take Crying Freeman.
Okay.
And if we remove all the supernatural elements from Crying Freeman, what's left?
There's style, flashiness. It's over-sexualized. Even if you take out the impossible martial arts, well, I guess all the martial arts is impossible, like the weapons and stuff. It's extreme. Everything is pushed to extremes.
Excellent. All right, what about in terms of characterization and plot?
Okay, the plot is a repetition of various gangs coming after Freeman. Freeman has to fight back. Their main weapon is some woman who will fall in love with Freeman and therefore either lose the battle or join his side. Including Kimia.
Does Freeman have much of a personality?
No, he's been hypnotized out of a personality.
What if
he was an artist, he's not even that anymore.
What if we restrict ourselves to the first volume and a half? If you remove supernatural elements from that, what are we left with?
He's a guy that was hypnotized into...
No hypnosis.
Oh, no hypnosis even. Okay. He's an assassin. He's a top assassin who falls in love with a woman that was supposed to be his target.
Yeah, perfect. Exactly.
Okay.
This is that very, very bare bones, very cliched, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Like, sure, it's the basis of 100 stories, 100 movies.
Yeah, even, speaking of Sean Connery, like Entrapment, or Out of Sight, all those bad guys falling in love with cops, or, stuff like that.
So, I think if you take out supernatural elements, especially from the first volume and a half of Crying Freeman, you're left with something that's very kind of, not quotidian, it's scarcely every day, but something that's very well trod.
Okay.
My point is that everything interesting and exciting about Crying Freeman really has to do with its over-the-top nature.
Yes, but you could say this about any work of art.
Well, perhaps...
This is just a painting of a beach. You know what I mean? It's all about what the artist what's their representation of it, how they framed it, what's the style of it.
Yes, and what's the style of Crying Freeman is this over-the-top stuff.
Yes.
And it especially goes true the further we go on.
Yeah.
But at the start, everything is in this crazy hypnosis.
Yes.
If you go online and you read the plot synopses of Crying Freeman, they don't, 80% of the book has nothing to do with the plot synopsis. The plot synopsis always says...
100%.
An assassin who was hypnotized by an evil cult and cries when he is forced to perform an assassination. That's abandoned after volume 1.
Yeah, sure.
Because Crying Freeman is not a very interesting person.
Right.
Not a very interesting character. There's nothing going for him. So, how do you solve this problem if you want to adapt it and you don't want to include any of this stuff we just described? Well, how does Killer's Romance solve this problem? Mm-hmm. I'll answer my own question.
Okay.
Killer's Romance solves this problem by bolting every gangster movie cliche imaginable into it.
Right.
Everything's there. Adopted son. Yeah. Mentor killed.
Yeah.
Must go on revenge. Mm. Older sibling doesn't want younger sibling to follow them into the business. Assassin falls in love with Mark. Assassin has a heart of gold. Mm. Incidentally, Freeman himself never has a heart of gold, actually, in the comics, really, does he? He doesn't go out of his way...
Except for Emu.
Emu does.
His love for her, I think, that's his heart.
Yeah, but he doesn't go out of his way to give money to orphans or look after Uncle Fong or anything like that. So... what Phillip Ko, in attempting to adapt Crying Freeman, has done is excised everything interesting about Crying Freeman and just thrown in as substitute a bunch of cliches that already exist in kind of like Chinese gun fu bullet ballet martial arts movies.
Okay.
Is this adaptation?
I think it's stealing. I think he's stolen plot elements. I don't think he's adapted Crying Freeman. Because for me, Crying Freeman is all about the style and even the opulence of every location they go to, all his plots, every room, everything is all over the top. It's like the current Oval Office. Like,
wonderful.
Plastered in ridiculous gold, stuff like that.
Well, you're an auteur. I'm much more prosaic. For me, Crying Freeman is about people throwing their clothes off at any excuse.
Exactly.
Possessed swords, ugly dwarves with hypnosis, hiragana tattooed all over them.
Exactly.
Crazy.
It's all the
caches of submachine guns from the
skeletons
Showa
cliches,
era.
which I believe everything is all narratives are. There's some cliche, there's some
of course
revenge
tropes
or hero's
bad.
journey or something like that. But then you dress it with all this style or other stuff, and that is what the meat of it is. That's what you're there for. And my feeling was that the style or even the themes or the sexuality, all those things, this movie's like the opposite of that. It's the opposite of except for the plot elements which it has stolen. This guy wearing 6 jackets is the opposite of the manga. Just looking at this image of this guy having to wear 6 jackets.
It couldn't be more opposite.
Exactly.
Freeman never wears clothes.
Exactly.
He hates clothes.
Yeah.
This guy loves clothes.
Yeah. Does he even kiss her in this movie? I don't think he does. I think it's...
No, they just kind of stare mawkishly at one another.
They hug.
It's so chaste. You put that really well. Yeah, I completely agree with you. To give it, I guess, an interpretive framework, I'm always talking about how, like, with adaptations, I love when they transform and improve. I think when we talked about Slumberland, I'm leading towards maybe a third pole or a third point in this particular triangle, which might be invention.
Okay.
Where something about the source material inspires you to create something new.
Yes.
From that original material. Nothing new has been created with this movie.
Right. Yeah.
It's, as you put it, theft.
Yes.
I still vote yay for the movie, but as an adaptation, nay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's nay for me, too. Okay, please like, rate, review, subscribe. Please contact us through the email address in the show notes, or you can send us a DM or text us or something like that on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, YouTube, or Reddit. All those links are in our show notes. And please join our Patreon at patreon.com/comicbookmovieoblivion. That's all one word. That helps us with hosting fees and sometimes books and movies and things like that. Okay, so next week, as we talked about all this week, right from the beginning, we're going to do The Dragon from Russia.
And I'm going to go further down the rabbit hole.
I think this is a little bit easier to find.
Right.
The version I downloaded is pretty high quality compared to this one, and Maggie Cheung's in it.
Yes. Yes. This one has a bit of a more high-profile cast.
I think so. But from what I've read of the plot description on Wikipedia, seems like it might be further. I think it might have stolen elements from the plot and not much else, but I guess we'll figure it out.
We'll go a deep dive next week.
Yeah.